right. Thank you, worship team. You guys doing good?
Yeah.
Yeah? Awesome. Hey, I feel like I'm hot, but, well, hot in the mic. Sorry, anyway. It was a bad joke. Hey, so here is what I want to talk about tonight. Last week, if you weren't here, what we talked about is fasting. I don't know if some of you guys did anybody remember that? Talked about fasting. Awesome. The rest of you forgot that as quickly as you left. You're like, I am not doing that. And so tonight, I want to recap what we did last week. So that's why I have my bottles here. Actually, I gave you these bottles. Do you guys know McAlvin? Do you know him? Mm-hmm. He was here last week. And I was like, yeah, you can take those sodas home. And then I was like, oh man, I should have kept them because I'll probably use them again. So I went out and bought some new sodas. I didn't call him and ask for them back because I'm sure they're already gone. But essentially, last week what I talked about, sum it up in 2 or 3 minutes, is this. That in Psalm 63, David talks about like hungering and thirsting for the living God. That like even in a dry and weary land, that he finds his source and his supply in Jesus and Jesus alone. Okay, so that's what David's kind of talking about, and I was like, man, I want that. Like, I want to hunger for the Lord. But what I realized is there were some things in my life that I was going to that promised to quench my thirst, but actually made me more parched. You guys tracking? You guys remember this from last week? And so I and it doesn't even mean they were bad things, right? Grades is on here. There's some bad things on here, or what we would consider bad, like pornography being one of those, putting our relationship with the opposite sex above your relationship with the Lord. But basically, what it all kind of came down to was that we had created idols in our life, and a big one of those was our cell phone. Our cell phone is access to a lot of different things that we go to distract us from what really is going to supply, what really is going to satisfy the hunger and the thirst. So we talked about Jesus, obviously represented over here, and that this is a daily process. So a challenge last week was, hey, in your quiet time, because we do quiet time here right after I get done talking, ask the Lord, hey, what do you want me to fast? Or maybe there's a lot of things you want me to fast. And 2, I'm going to wake up 30 minutes before I normally wake up because I'm going to spend time with Jesus. Yeah. Because the fact is this. Like, a relationship with Jesus costs you. A relationship with Jesus, we are free, like I am freely accepted in Jesus. You are his, you are his prize, you are delighted in. But if I don't spend time with Sarah, what do we have? We have a broken relationship, right? So I spend time with Sarah because she's my wife, right? So I spend time with Jesus because he's my Savior. And I want to know him, and I want to know his way. Is it making sense? Because so a relationship with Jesus is going to cost you time. But I would say to you, we see it sometimes as like, but what you're going to get out of the relationship with Jesus, the satisfaction, the life transformation, sometimes we can't see that when we're going to these wells over here. We don't see it correctly. So why we fast is because we separate ourselves, we abstain from something so that we can tap into what the Lord has for us. Okay? So I'm telling you, some of these things are good. I'm not telling you to not try your hardest or try your best to get good grades. The Bible says, do everything that you do as unto the Lord, right? I'm not telling you just to I'm just not going to study now. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is like, if grades are in the wrong place in your heart, allow God to show you that and redirect you and show you like, hey, like you're approved not because of what you get on this test, but because I already approve of you. Like your identity is not found in you being number one in school, or number one in sports, or number one in the video game. Like whatever your thing is. Cool, we making sense? Okay, so I want to tell you some misconceptions, or not misconceptions, some wrong thinking behind fasting, why we fast. Because I think that all of us are called to fast. Let me clarify. Biblical fasts pertain to food. Okay? I'm using fast in the sense that we use fast kind of around here in church, in Christian culture, meaning like abstaining from things too. But a biblical fast is always food. I'm not telling you guys to go on a biblical fast without first consulting your parents. All right? That's not your choice. You need to approach that with them and get their blessing. Or because there's a lot of crazy stuff, and I was in it with food stuff, been there, and like you can mess yourself up with that, and so we need our parents, because our parents are our leaders, our parents are our pastors, and we're coming, this whole youth team is coming alongside your parents and saying like, we're blessing what you're doing in your student's life, and we're gonna. It's another sermon for another day. I'm just saying, like, that's our job. Okay, so their job is to lead you. So I'm not telling you to go on a biblical fast. You take that to them. What I am saying is I'm calling a fast something that you're giving up, something that you're abstaining from for a month. We started it last Wednesday, and this is 7 days in. And so what I think has happened probably, if I know people, and I feel like I do, some of you started out hot, you got discouraged, and you're like, I'm going to throw in the towel. And so tonight I want to encourage you to keep pressing in to what the Lord has for you. But I also want to caution you and say that we do not fast to get God's attention. We already have it.
That's right.
We're not fasting so that God sees us. He already sees you. Okay? That's important, because if you think, oh, if I do this, then God will do this, He won't do that. And that is not Jesus. Okay? You already have His approval. People that fast like that, I have a friend, his name's Assad, he works at Kroger. Talked to you guys about him before. He's a Muslim. I talked to him on Tuesday or Monday, and he was telling me about they're in the fast for Ramadan, because fasting is not specifically for Christian communities. A lot of people fast in other religions, but why Assad is fasting is because he believes that Allah is God, and that during this month Allah looks favorably upon the Muslims that fast, and they fast from sun up to sundown, and then they eat and gorge themselves. Fun fact, they actually sell more food in Muslim countries in this month than any other month of the year, and it's their fast month. Isn't that crazy? And it's because what they do is they gorge themselves on stuff because they haven't been able to eat all day. But God still looks favorably upon them and forgives their sins. So they think. Okay? And that's not to throw shade at them. That's not what I'm doing. But that is not why we fast. Okay? That's not why we're not trying to gain God's approval. Another reason we don't fast to prove ourselves. This kind of ties into the first one. We don't fast to prove ourselves or to prove our Christianity. Yeah. Like, that's not why we fast. Like, we are in Christ. Like Jesus said, take my yoke upon you, for I will give you rest. So we're not trying to gain His approval and His favor. That's not what we're trying to do. We're not trying to prove to ourselves or even to Him. He knows our heart, and we can rest in Him. The last thing, we do not fast to get the attention of other people. You guys got a Bible, right? Matthew 6:16 through 18. We're going to read that. Everybody should have a Bible. I think that's really important that we see God's words on paper. Told you all that before. You got a Bible? All right.
You can open normal.
Huh?
You can open normal.
All right, somebody read it out to me. 6:16 through 18. Everybody there? Matthew 6:16 through 18.
And when you fast,
Yeah, go for it.
and when you fast, do not look gloomy like the hypocrites, for they disfigure their faces, that their fasting may be seen by others. Truly I say to you, they have received a reward. But when you fast, anoint your head and wash your face, that your fasting may not be seen by others, but by your Father who is in secret. And your Father who sees in secret will reward you.
Awesome. All right. So what does this mean for your fast? What do you think this means? Like, we know in this context, it's like, hey, we can look when we fast from food like it's hard on our body, or this is what Jesus is talking about. So what the Pharisees used to do is just be like, oh man, I'm really fasting. It's really hard for me to walk right now. Oh, it's been a 2-dayer. It's been so hard. I haven't eaten food. Barely had any water. Like that is what, and so they'd be like, oh man, that guy, dude, that guy's so holy. He's gone 2 days without food, right? So what is he, what are we talking about here for you with what you fasted?
Oh, I'm not on Instagram. Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of like doubting people who are.
Yeah, that's good.
Or if somebody asks you, have you seen that post? Oh, no, I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it yet.
Haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Been off Facebook for a month. Been fasting. Right?
I'll have to check that out later.
Yeah, I'll check that. I'll go back when I'm binging. All right? When I'm binging Facebook. Infinity scroll. Right? None of y'all are on Facebook. It's okay. I'm not either. I have none social medias. None. Not even Snapchat. Okay? None social medias. And I'm okay. Right? I'm normal. I'm normal. Okay? Right, Ben? I'm normal. Okay. Come on. I knew I liked you. So, what are we talking about? So, what we're talking about is this, is that it's not about like downing somebody else because of what you're not doing now, right? You can still give testimony, but it's like it's like, yeah, you know, like I'm fasting that right now, and like you can give testimony, but do you guys understand the difference? You guys see the difference? There's a difference. Okay? I can tell you about how I fast, but it's only to my heart is, I want you to tap into this because this is good for you. My heart is not, oh man, I want them to think that I am plugging away at this Christian walk. I got this thing going. Like, no, that's not why I'm sharing. I'm sharing because it's transformed my life. Okay? Here's some things that happen when we fast, or why we fast. And there's multiple reasons, but this is a few. Okay? We fast to fix our attention on Jesus. Okay? When we get rid of that thing that's got the wrong place, it's not just to abstain from that thing and do other things. Our goal here, when we fast, the time that I'm spending on Instagram, or a portion of that time, I'm now spending with the Lord. Okay? I'm not filling my life with other apps.
Right.
I'm going after Jesus.
Right.
Okay? That's what fasting is. We fast to make room. Okay? We fast to slow down. I don't know if you guys know this, but we move, your life right now, our culture moves very fast. Very fast. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed it in yourself. Like, it's always like, what's that new thing? What's that new thing? What's that new thing? Well, I'm gonna find it on Instagram, or find it on YouTube Shorts, or I'm gonna find it here, I'm gonna find it there. Like, our culture is making us go really, really fast. You see that with like TikTok or YouTube Shorts, because the way that they're formed is to give you a hit of dopamine, right? It's to give you little hits, and then you're on there for a long time. I've done it before too. Like, your time just escapes you. And what that is training you to do is it's training you out of. It's training you for more of that. And actually, the way of Jesus is a slow way. It's a steady way. My life in Jesus there hasn't been like huge transformational changes. It's been slow and steady. And so what we're doing when we're fasting is we're stepping back from the culture that says go, 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 this, and going, I'm going to slow down with Jesus. Okay? So that's why we fast. We can slow down. We can step outside of the cultural norms and step into his culture. Okay? And last one. We fast to starve our flesh. Okay? What you feed grows. Slow, but it grows. So what you feed today will grow. And what fasting does is it starves our flesh and feeds our spirit. It's like spiritual steroids. You guys know what spirit and flesh? Spirit and flesh? No? Know the difference? Okay.
Spirit is like God and flesh is like, basically evil.
Evil, yeah. So the word sarx a lot of times in the Bible it stands for flesh. It's our physical body, it's our mind, our will, and our emotions. Okay, the best definition for this word is making decisions or actions according to yourself apart from faith. Anything that is self-empowered and not relying upon the Spirit of God is flesh. And that means bad things, and that means good things too. Even respectable things, right? It's anything that is self-empowered. That's our flesh. And so what happens is you have a spirit and a spirit man and a worldly or a flesh, right? And a flesh is programmed a certain way according to a certain kingdom. And this new man, this spirit man, is programmed and set for the spiritual kingdom, right? And so when I feed my spirit man, when I spend time with Jesus, when I fast things that God's calling me to fast, when I spend time with Jesus, like I'm feeding that spirit man. And so that's why we fast. We fast because we want the Spirit. I want the Spirit. That's why I fast, right? I want to respond the way that Jesus would respond in certain situations. I'm going to tell you a little story. I'll tell you more about it later. Last Monday, I was supposed to register you guys for camp, and I did. and the camp time opened up at 9 a.m. This camp, I asked you guys to register by February 24th, right, or something like that. And I didn't have to have the date I didn't have to get the spots till March 4th. But I knew there'd be some late ads because we go to New Life, right? So I get on the computer, I register, I'm on there at 9, it opens at 9, I get the 48 spots, I hit submit, I get the confirmation email 9:02, and I'm like, dude, I did it. I actually went to a staff meeting, and Ruth Euler, you guys know Ruth, right? She was like, oh man, I was trying to get tickets to go to the top of the Washington Monument, and I lucked out, or I didn't get the tickets, and I was like, oh man, that sucks. Like, I just registered for camp, but we got our spots because I got the confirmation email. Next day, okay, Tuesday, whatever day it was, I get an email from the camp saying, hey, unfortunately, you got none of those spots. And I was like, oh no. I screenshot it, I sent it to Sarah, and I was like, oh man, you need to pray. And we sent it to Sam, like, we were like, oh no. And they offered us to go in another week, but it wasn't going to work. I went back and forth with the people that were trying to move us, and they were like, hey, we can't help you out. You're not going to be able to come to our camp. And I'm just like, dude, what? And, it was heavy, and we were praying and wondering why, and I sent emails to them like, hey, what had happened is they had 280 spots that could be filled. They were filled in under a minute. So this camp is crazy. I was just on the edge of getting all of our spots. And we were one of 17 churches that they had to call and tell that you didn't get to because what happened is they had 280 spots. They set it up, instead of 280 people, they set it up as 280 transactions. So it was going the whole day. So people were registering for camp and thinking they had their spots, but they didn't. So we go into last Tuesday going, man, we are definitely not going to camp. We got to find a new camp to go to or something to do. But I wrote the lady an email, and I genuinely meant this. I thanked them for, at this point, all hope is lost. And I just thanked them. I was like, hey, I just want to thank you. The last 2 years have changed my life tremendously, and have changed our students' lives too. We love you, and we're so thankful for this camp. That response would not have come from me even 6 months ago. But it came because I'm feeding my spirit, right? So next day, fast forward, I call the guy. I say what?
Get to the good part.
Get to the good part. Yeah, so we're not going to camp, but it's okay. It's going to be okay, all right? Next day, this is Wednesday, so last Wednesday, remember last Wednesday, Sam had a word, and she said something about trusting the Lord. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Acknowledge Him in all your ways, and He will make your path straight. And I said, man, we're going through something right now, but this is a verse that I'm standing on. I can try to reason my way or trying to find a camp or try to do all this stuff, but I just need to trust Him. Okay? So call the guy at 11 on Wednesday morning before you guys came here, and I was like, hey, what's up? And he was like, hey, we're sorry, you're one of 17 churches that did this, that was registering. Our system broke, we put in all the stuff. But what we're going to do is we're going to give you 25 spots, and then you're going to have to contend, which means go get the other 23 that you need on Tuesday, which was yesterday. Okay? You guys tracking? Individuals. So you're going to have to register individuals on Tuesday individually to try to get the spots. So we assembled a team, okay? We assembled this team of keyboard. So we got 25 spots, which was huge, and now we got to go get 23 more, all right? So we...
It's a race.
It's a race. It's like you guys ever registered for Taylor Swift concert tickets? You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. I haven't done that either, but Keaton has. He told me about it. And what he said is that it's just, you gotta get in there quick. You got to put in all your information and you get the ticket. So Sam was on the team. Keaton had an appointment. Wendy had an appointment. They could be on the team. We had 23 people. I had all my brothers' like office. Their whole office was doing it. It was crazy. And so we're on there at 9 a.m. and we got 16 spots, which means we have 41 people. We have 43 people going, but I was expecting an applause. You guys, yeah. So we have, thank you. Huh? We got the spots.
You said 21, then you just said 16, so we're taking.
We got the spots. All right, we got the spots. Dang, dude. See, that's what happens when it's in your mind, but it doesn't come out of your mouth. So, you guys must go to jail. No, I'm sorry. Anyway, that was not a good joke. It wasn't. I had to stop. Hey, so here's what happened. We had 16 of our 23 people get spots. We have 10 people on a wait list, but we have 41 spots, and we have 43 people going. Does that make sense? So we have 41 secured spots. We still have 2 people on a wait list, which is okay because there's going to be spots that open, and we'll get them in. So needless to say, all that, we're going to camp. And if you still want to go to camp, unfortunately, we cannot help you because it was a battle to get the 41. Okay, so God is good and He moves for you, and I see that as God really wanting us to be at camp because we found another place that we could have gone to, but God really opened the door and assembled a team to get you guys there, and like I'm just excited. Not only for camp, it's going to be a great week and God's going to move and stuff, but I'm just really excited about what He's already doing in your all's heart as He prepares you for camp. Because I see camp as a highlight, but just a highlight to add to the reel. Like God is moving. And so my encouragement is let's spread out and let's encounter Him right now individually.